Ultimate rock bands, 60s to now. I'll go ahead and outline my rating system real quick. At the top, we got Based. Not much needs to be said about that. Went on too long. Yeah, this is the bands that sort of fell off after the best work. This is any band that started strong, hit a dip, and then came back from that. Or any band that started poorly and then came into their own. Or any band that makes good music consistently, but for some reason on every album there's just 2 or 3 tracks. Republicans ruined it, self-explanatory. Incels ruined it, self-explanatory. Based conceptually, but has become a brand separate from the music at this point. Maybe one solid record, self-explanatory. Nothing really exceptional, nothing really dislikable either. NPC, this is true negative. This is where we start getting into true negative right here. Cop music, yeah, speaks for itself. People ate this shit up, but I never liked this dude's face or his stupid music. Forgot these existed, and no real opinion. Before I get too far into it, I just want to say I'm not trying to hold any sort of critical position over any of you guys. I'm not trying to gatekeep these bands. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to make jokes. This is all just me. This is all just my opinion. I'm probably going to change it by next week anyway. If you think I'm being too hard on your fave, or, you know, think I'm being too generous on one of mine, tell me why. You know, I'll talk to you about it. I'm not going to be one of those dudes that the end-all be-all is what I think. I'm always open to new stuff. I'm always open to hear new music. Oh, cool. This dude's got, who's that, Lieutenant Hanlon from Fallout 2? That's pretty cool. First off, we got 10cc. Alright, Based. Yeah. 10cc's a great band. Love 10cc. They could write poppy stuff. They could also write pretty experimental out there stuff. So yeah, 10cc's Based. The 1975. Yeah, that's where that goes. One Direction. This was a band that like everybody talked about when I was a kid, because it was like you either loved One Direction or you just absolutely hated them. And most of the hate was just like, everything girls like is dumb. Yeah, I don't know. There's some catchy One Direction songs, and I feel like most of those guys have gone on to have pretty successful careers. And yeah, One Direction probably got just a couple solid songs. Three Doors Down. Citizen Soldier, National Guard advertisement at movie theaters 2005. Third Eye Blind. Born on Blondes, I never really got into them. Five Finger Death Punch. 5 Seconds of Summer. I mean, how much can I really hate a band that was engineered for 12-year-olds going to conversion camp? AC/DC. Yeah, Based but went on too long. Aerosmith. Aerosmith isn't really one of those classic rock bands that you really just see like hammered into oblivion. I don't think that the Aerosmith ever really crafted a record that was truly monumental. Maybe one solid record. I think that's fair. Dream on, dream until your dreams come true. AJR. Alice Cooper. Would Alice Cooper do Schools Out for Summer? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Alice in Chains. I'm not really familiar with anything they've done since the Reformation. I love the Lane Staley era. It's really just kind of sucked what happened to him. I like Alice in Chains though, but not crazy about everything. Allman Brothers, I need to listen to them more, but I definitely like what I know. Animal Collective. Okay, this is why I had the foresight to make this. I love Sung Tongs. I love Strawberry Jam. I love Feels. Meriwether Post Pavilion is just a little bit overrated. The Animals. I feel like I should know this band. I'm gonna say no real opinion. Anthrax. Yeah, I don't know. No opinion on Anthrax. Arctic Monkeys. It's probably the first record. Audio Slave. Yeah, like Chris Cornell, Tom Morello. Who was the drummer in that band? Audio Slave was good. Wasn't crazy about all their songs, but Chris Cornell, Tom Morello. Yeah. Avenged Sevenfold. Bare Naked Ladies. It's been Beach Boys. Like, I don't want to say... Okay, yeah, they went on too long. It's somewhere right here and here. Once you start getting to, like, the Pet Sounds, Brian Wilson, Ribbon era. Because everything about, like, the early Beach Boys is just kind of like, when you go surfing, it's just like surfing. All their songs kind of sound like that. And then later on in the career, I mean, like, they don't even play with Brian Wilson anymore. And Mike Love is just such a douche. The Beatles. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Deal with it. Beck. Yeah, Beck is awesome. Black Flag. Yeah, the Black Keys. Rubber Factory is not a bad album. Rubber Factory is a solid record. Not an exceptional record, but it's a solid record. A blank 182. We're riding our skateboards to the high school. Hopefully this pretty girl has a locker next to me on the first day of school. Blondie. They did go on too long, but Debbie Harry was kind of taking care of Chris Stein, so it's not really. I like Auto American. The Hunter's not great. The Hunter kind of sucks, and honestly, I'm not really familiar with anything they've done since the Reformation, but New Wave, Blondie is great. I love Blondie. Really, I wish I could put them in the top category. Blur. Blur's a good band. I like Blur, I like their stuff, but some stinkers. Definitely some stinkers, and I never really forgave them for the Nardwuar interview either. Alright, who we got next? Bob Dylan. I'm just singing my songs while I talk like this. Well, I'm just playing my songs on guitar while I put it in a tier list. Where does Bob Dylan go? Yeah, like Bob Dylan went on way too long. Blue Oyster Cult. This is just another band I want to put at the very top, but law diminishing returns right here. Yeah, but just amazing musicians. Bon Jovi. Boston. Yeah, no, Boston's good as fuck. I love this first record, but nothing really comes to mind off the later releases. Maybe I need to give them a little bit more. I can't really say that I've heard a Boston song that I didn't like. David Bowie. Great job, y'all. There's a star, man. Brand New. Oh my god. I never thought I would have to look at this band's fucking iconography ever again. Brand New is like the musical equivalent of that guy you kind of know driving 140 down the interstate going, I really loved her, bro. Cage the Elephant. I'm torn. I have a soft spot for this band because they put on some great shows, and I think they're pretty good songwriters. Cannibal Corpse. Car Seat Headrest. Yeah, OG Twin Fantasy was good. Kings of Denial was good. The Cars. My best friend's girl, she used to be mine. Creedence Clearwater Revival. I wanna know. Great job. Have you ever seen Chicago? I was never really attached or exposed to this band in any particular way. So no opinion. I'll listen to some more Chicago after this, yeah. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, singing like this, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. The Clash. Combat Rock sucks, and everything after that up until their breakup is bad. So yeah, Cold War Kids. This was one of those bands people kept trying to tell me about in high school, but I never really listened to them. What's weird is I know that they've got like a pretty nice following, and like they've made some popular, successful songs, but I just they've never really been on my radar. So I guess we'll have to check them out. Coldplay. Yeah, I could be really mean here, but what's the speed of sound? Yeah, XY. That record was fun when I was a kid. Flying at the speed of sound. Cream. I don't know enough about Cream to say that they went on too long. They got some really good songs, and Disraeli Gears. I listened to that all the time growing up. Creed. I said, yes, yeah. Going on down to church, rhythm band down the chair. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. That's, yeah, based. Especially when they had Neil Young. Who I don't even think is in this list. The Cure. Teach me how to love, she said. The Dandy Warhols. My friend played this band for me a couple times. And I never really, like, sought them out after that. But maybe I need to give them another listen. No real opinion. No real opinion. Deep Purple. Deep Purple wrote the song that, like, Guitar Shop's band. It's been so long since I listened to Deep Purple, so maybe I've got a little bit of a rose-tinted. Maybe I got a little bit of a Deep Purple tint on my hindsight right now. Def Leppard. I don't know what it is about these guys. but I've just never really vibed with them. Yeah. Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode. Nah, I don't know. Dire Straits. Ugh. I wanted to put them in the top category so bad, but I mean, yeah. The Sultans of Blake Reel. Disturbed. The Doobie Brothers. I don't know. They fall in with Deep Purple, but one of the first songs I learned how to play on guitar was China Grove. So maybe it's a little bit too generous for these two, but Doobie Brothers. China Grove, man. Talking about the China Grove. The Doors. Can't say they went on too long. 'Cause Jim Morrison died like after like the second record. And there's not really a Doors song I don't like. Yeah, Doors are based. Doors are based. But I'm sure for some of you it might fall in one of these categories. But the Doors are based to me. Dragon Force. Like, does anyone listen to this band? Like, does anyone like sat down and like put on a Dragon Force record? Like, has that ever happened, or do we all just like know Through the Fire and Flames from Guitar Hero 3? I don't know. They seem like they're nice enough guys, but I'm gonna give it its own category. And this isn't particularly negative. It's just sort of me rolling with the punches here. Dragon Force, Guitar Hero tier. Dream Theater. Yeah. Duran Duran. The 80s is so hit or miss for me. The Eagles. Welcome to the Hotel Rick Santorum. Eagles are good though. ELO. The Evil One Band. I like ELO. I like ELO, but definitely got some stinkers. Judas Priest. I don't know. I never really got into Judas Priest. Maybe I'll give Judas Priest another shot. Elton John. Yeah, that goes right here. Evanescence. Take me up inside and wake up. Follow, boy, running the mausoleum. Fucking hate this shit. All the old stuff sounds the same. All the new stuff is just the most shameless, just manufactured for sports games. Finger 11. Yeah. Fits in the Tantrums. I don't really know. I've seen them like all over the place, but I don't really know their music. No opinion. The Flaming Lips. They're not the best band, but they offer something interesting and something that is very much their own sound. Fleetwood Mac. Never break the chain, never break the chain. Down, bow, 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 no. Foo Fighters. And I wonder. You know, I really liked the Foo Fighters until I heard Nirvana. I know a lot of people rip on Dave Grohl for being charismatic, but I mean, at this point in his life, the dude's lost two of his best friends and musical collaborators. I can't really hold anything against them. They had some good moments. Foreigner. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I really want to just straight up say Foreigner is 100% based, but they got some jukebox hero. The Fray. When did I go round? The Fray is an era where you would like pay $3 for a ringtone. Yeah, that's where the Fray is. I mean, it's sort of just a cultural landmark at this point. I don't really have a strong negative or positive feeling or emotion towards them. Fun. Oh, let's set the world on fire. Genesis. They didn't go on too long because they broke up, and then Phil Collins did his own thing. It's awesome. I mean, I guess they got back together and they still played. I haven't listened to anything Genesis has done after the 80s. Yeah, just based with some stinkers. Genesis is based with some stinkers. Godsmack. Godspeed You Black Emperor. All right. I like what I've heard by them, but I just haven't heard enough to really make a solid judgment call here. Don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think... Gorillaz. You know, the thing is, I like the Gorillaz. I like them better than Blur in a lot of ways. It definitely had, the music was a little bit more exciting, a little bit more experimental to me. Also had a way larger breadth of range, I would say. The Gorillaz touches on a lot of different genres, a lot of different styles. They collaborate with a lot of different people. Damon Albarn's awesome, but the Gorillaz have got some assy stinkers. Yeah. Godier. Somebody. Grand Funk Railroad. Seen the name places, but I've never really heard their music. No real opinion. I'll check them out though. The Grateful Dead. Yeah, this is what I had in mind when I made this category. It's so ironic because the Grateful Dead just sort of like embodied this counterculture of the 60s through like the 90s even. I mean, but you know, now you just see them like on t-shirts and like socks at Urban Outfitters and shit. But yeah, you know, just a lot of these bands fall into this category, and it's never really the fault of the band itself as much as it is you know, the machine that's elevated them to this position. Green Day. Oh, another turning point when I come around. It's not like, it's not any of these. I wanna vote for George W. Bush. I like Dookie. They had a lot of really fun, catchy songs on it. Green Day just sort of is what it is. It's catchy, it's stupid, it's lazy. I mean, welcome to Greta Van Fleet. I hate this band so much. This is just like one of those bands for people that like want to listen to new music, but they don't want to actually like challenge themselves in any sort of meaningful way. This is the sort of band that someone will show you and be like, rock's not dead, bro. And it's like, it is in the way that you think. Yeah, it is. But as like an ethos, rock music is around, but it's not any band that sounds like this. It's not any band that is what Greta Van Fleet is. Group Love. I met these guys in Atlanta once, and they're cool guys. They're some cool people. They're really nice, really friendly. They had some pretty banging singles. Like, I feel like when people think of like early 2010s indie, whatever indie means, like this is kind of the sound that people envision. So you either love it or you hate it. I got a soft spot for some of their singles. Walk me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are Hall & Oates. You know, you talk to people about Hall & Oates, people really love Hall & Oates. And I haven't heard a Hall & Oates song where I've been like, what the hell is this? From what I can gather, the streets fucked with Hall & Oates. Heart stuck it to the man on several occasions. Great musicians, some banging ass songs. I feel like it's rare to find someone that really has a negative opinion on Heart. Yeah. Oh, Barracuda. Jimi Hendrix based, no doubt in my mind. 100% Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I mean, and just 3, in my opinion, flawless records. Huey Lewis and the News. I feel like this deserves its own category. Alrighty. Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons is kind of like the Nickelback of the 2010s, where it's just sort of easy to rip on them, but people think that they're being brave. I'm not really devoting a whole lot of negative energy to Imagine Dragons these days. Incubus. They have like 2 songs that I remember from when I was growing up, but I don't really know enough about them. I'll just say no real opinion. But I know Drive, and there's some other Incubus song I couldn't tell you the title of, but yeah, Incubus, no real opinion. Insane Clown Posse. This is strange to me. Insane Clown Posse is strange because I don't feel negatively about ICP at all. I really, you know, Juggalos from what I can put together usually seem pretty based. You know, I feel like they belong here. But ICP is very much its own conglomerate at this point. I don't know. And yeah, and this isn't a jab at all. This isn't a jab at all. Yeah, I'd say ICP based conceptually, but it's kind of this separate entity from the music at this point. Moving on. Who is this? Iron Maiden. This is the kind of music that the kid in class that was like a metalhead would always be like, you like Metallica? Dude, that's dumb as shit. Listen to Iron Maiden. That's what I think of. But I don't really have a strong opinion on them. Janis Joplin. You can't really say anything about Janis. She gave it everything she had, and then it was over. I mean, yeah, based. Jefferson Airplane. Yeah, and it sucks because, you know, there's a lot of the just personal problems with the band, but yeah, they did kind of go on too long. Amazing band, though. Joan Jett and the Blackhawks. Okay, I love Joan, but this is going right here because I feel like at this point the context that you see Joan Jett and the Blackheart songs is like in commercials. I feel like you'd see a paper towel commercial that you know the narrator's like, uh-oh, got tough spills, clean that up with extra absorbent bounty special cloth. They're always doing something, but in the background it would just be like, I don't give a damn about my reputation. Like that's like the context that you see Joan Jett in now. Journey's always just kind of been to me, but they got some bangers. Joy Division, y'all gonna hate me for this one, but boom, it's closer, by the way. Kansas, I don't know enough about Kansas, but I've loved everything I've heard about Kansas. The thing is, I just can't say like they went on too long. I saw them in like 2004. It was like the first show I'd ever gone to. They played at the Lake Martin Amphitheater for 4th of July, and yeah, I mean, they sounded great. I mean, I can't say Kansas went on too long. The Killers, coming out of my cage. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Didn't expect to see them on here. Who's this? King Crimson. 21st Century Schizoid Man. Kings of Leon. Their most popular record was about the time I was getting into high school. They had the Your Sex is on Fire. And what was the other one? You know that I could use somebody. Their first record is pretty good though. The Kinks. Yeah, like the Kinks just have influenced the zeitgeist so much. I want to say that they're based, but I mean, especially when they kind of came back and reformed, it's just the music's just not as great, not as exciting, but you know, nothing against the Kinks. The Kinks are great. Yes. Never liked Gene Simmons. Never liked the music, so not liking either of them as a whole kind of was easier with that. Korn. I don't know enough about Korn either. That was kind of out of my wheelhouse. I know people love Korn. I don't know. No real opinion. LCD Sound System. Okay. I was there. I was the first one playing Daft Punk to the Rock Kids. But they kind of like had that hiatus and then they came back, and I mean, I saw them live and they were great, but just the music itself, the recording. You got to set them up, kid. Set them up. Led Zeppelin. Oh, baby, 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 baby. Presence. Limp Bizkit. Okay, this is unique for me because Limp Bizkit is like, it's assy, but like that's its thing. And Limp Bizkit has never been like, oh, sorry, we were so assy. And their songs aren't even like sad. Like their songs aren't like fucking sad and boring and lame like all the stuff in cop music. Like Limp Bizkit songs are just kind of like, man, you better watch yourself because I'm gonna fuck you up. Like you know, I wouldn't fuck with Fred Durst because like that dude looks like he will knock all your teeth out for looking at him the wrong way. Limp Bizkit is cop music, but like at the same time, these guys are so confident in that vision. It's like, I don't know. It's full horseshoe theory here. Yeah. Limp Bizkit, because it is, I mean, like, that's them. They are the stinkers. Linkin Park, hybrid theory. Sorry. The Lumineer. No, that's too harsh. Okay. M83. That's like Baby's first rave. Alright, Machine Head. Yeah, never really listened that much to them. But I need to check them out. Maybe I'll revisit this column in a future video if I decide to sit in front of my computer for like an hour and a half again. Marilyn Manson. Oh man. And yeah, now it's finally coming out that this guy is just as shitty as his music. Yeah. Never like this dude. Marilyn Manson is such a try-hard bitch. I hate this guy and his music so much. Maroon 5. That's a little harsh, but they deserve it. Matchbox 20. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they had one song. My Chemical Romance. Yeah. Meatloaf. No real opinion. I feel like I saw him on the O'Reilly Factor once, so I'll just go ahead and put him right here. Megadeth. Bleh, I don't know. I've never really listened to this band or felt a certain way. Megadeth, I feel like, goes here, but I feel like the people that listen to it can't be cops because of a prior felony conviction. Metallica went on too long and also had some stinkers and also was ruined by cops. So, you know, it's just it's somewhere in between these three, because they did go on too long. Saint Anger in and of itself would put it right here. I feel like there's definitely like a Metallica poster out there that's intertwined with some Thin Blue Line imagery. Yeah, I do really like Master of Puppets though. Master of Puppets is a freaking killer record. That, yeah. Misfits. Yeah, yeah, the Misfits go right there. The Misfits go right there. I don't even, yeah, I mean, like, the good music, but yeah, that's where the Misfits are. Modest Mouse. It's a long drive for someone to think about, and Lonesome Crowded West are solid. I could take or leave everything after that. The Monkees. The Monkees got some bangers. I feel like we're more familiar with like other artists' covers of Monkees songs than anything else. But also at the same time, like, the whole point of the Monkees was to be this thing that was engineered by like a music company to have this like cross media appeal. So yeah, the Monkees was just a brand at the heart of it. But they talented musicians. The Moody Blues. Don't really know them. Don't really know them. I'll give them a listen though. A Motley Crue. Like, the only reason Motley Crue is still around is because like people don't know that you don't have to listen to the radio anymore. I don't get Motley Crue. I just don't. I don't understand it. I've never heard a song by them that I thought was like cool. I don't specifically know enough about Motley Crue to say anything other than I just don't like their music, but I know a lot of people do. Motorhead. Lemmy was based. Lemmy was that dude. But in terms of Motorhead, the band, not everything is on the same level. But I love Lemmy. Puddle of Mud. I'm just trying to be Nirvana 10 years later. I still don't think this list is as long as Wes Scantlin's Criminal record. Mumford & Sons. I will hold your heart inside my soul. God, okay, it's somewhere in the middle between, because I want to get violent when I hear Mumford & Sons. I don't know what it is, man. What is it about this band? What is it about? Because this was like the biggest deal. This was like the biggest deal for like 3 years. We just couldn't get enough of these like open chord, capo on the fourth fret, motherfucker. I just don't. It's so detached from anything relevant. Just a bunch of dudes cosplaying the 1800s. It's lame. It's lame. I just wish I could forget about it. My Morning Jacket. Okay. Based with some stinkers. My Morning Jacket overall is amazing. Is a great band, but there's some tracks you skip in there for sure. The Neighborhood. Not gonna lie. All right, Neutral Milk Hotel. Stop it. Nickelback.
Oh, I'm through with standing in line. The clubs I'll never get.
Nickelback isn't NPC music, and it's not cop music either. But like, I don't feel strongly about Nickelback. Yeah, you know, people love to be like, dude, Nickelback sucks, right? And you're like, yeah, but like, how much do you really care about it? Don't really feel one way or the other about Nickelback. Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, this goes right here. This goes right here. First couple records were solid, but I feel like Trent Reznor's best work now is like when he's doing something for like a movie. Nirvana. Man, I love this band. I love this band so much. It's one of the best. It's one of the best bands of the '90s, but it's right here now. Oasis, Champagne Supernova. I got a one solid record with that. What's the Story? Morning Glory, and they got some good singles, but the Gallagher brothers kind of suck, and maybe Offspring. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Offspring right here. They got a solid album, but they don't really feel truly momentous. One Republic, dude, this was like free iTunes single of the week music right here. Damn. A Panic at the Disco. Why won't this pretty girl talk to me? I'm so awkward. I don't like this band. I don't like this style of music. It's so lame. It's so self-gratifying. It's so overblown. Pantera, I don't know. No real opinion on Pantera. Papa Roach, cut my life into pieces. Paramore went on too long. Actually, no. Did they go on to? Because, like, they broke up and then they had a bass with some stinkers. I'll say that. Pavement. Oh, I wanted to scroll all the way up so bad, but yeah, no, Pavement's great. Pavement's a really good band, but do you guys need to stop acting like you're geniuses by proxy because you listen to this music? Pearl Jam. Around the yeah, Pearl Jam's bass, but they went on too long. Once you start getting to the late 90s and the early 2000s, Pearl Jam gets a little. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You know, I like Tom Petty, but they belong right there. Fish. I don't know. Like, it's okay, Fish goes right here, but it's not on the level of something like Grateful Dead. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it has this following. The obsession isn't necessarily coming out of like Fish's current output in the studio as much as it is just like an obsession with their live shows and their discography as a whole, and just being excited for what they as musicians are going to do next. But yeah, I would say Trey Anastasio is based. Pink Floyd, you know, I'd really like some stuff when it was just Gilmore. Momentary Lapse of Reason has a couple solid songs, and Division Bell has some good songs too. Pink Floyd's had one of the best runs in music, like, ever. Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall. I mean, even stuff like Adam Hart Mother is really cool. But in a way, yeah, they kind of went on too long. Even though I will say that I wouldn't completely overlook their later material. The Pixies. Okay, I'm so detached from anything that isn't Surfer Rosa and Doolittle that I can't really say for certain. The Police, yeah, definitely got some stinkers. And even some of their big songs I'm not crazy about. Who's this? Pond? I got Pond on this list? Alright. Let's go. Prince. I love Prince. Like, Prince is one of my favorite musicians ever. It's not whole albums. It's just like there will be one moment on a flawless album where you're like, "Aw, Prince is the GOAT. Prince is one of the best guitarists of all time, like best musicians of all time. He put out so much music, and there was that whole thing with his label. I think Prince's quality output far surpassed any sort of negative release that he had. Pulp. I don't know. This is one of those bands like Can, where I was never really exposed to them, but I feel like people talk about them, and I think I'm missing out, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So no real opinion. I'll revisit it though. Queen.
Mamma mia, mamma mia.
Yeah, Queen goes right there. Queen's the Stone Age. Have they done anything since like Clockwork? That's the thing. There's not really a Queens of Stone Age album or song that I don't like. Yeah, Radiohead goes right there. Kid A is one of my favorite records ever. And Rainbows is awesome. OK Computer is great. Even like the Bends is like pretty good, like 90s rock, whatever you want to classify it as. But you guys, like I said earlier, you need to stop acting like you have a fucking PhD in maturity because you listen to Radiohead, okay? Rammstein. This is one of those bands that someone invites you over to their house and they put on a video, and in the video it's two dudes with cellos doing a cover of like AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Ramones. Yeah, no, yeah, the Ramones would go right there. Rage Against the Machine. REM. REM is a good band, and I don't want to say they went on too long, but yeah, they got some stinkers. They got a lot of really good records. Reckoning, Fables of Reconstruction, Green, number 5. But nothing really late in their category really measured up to that for me. And there's still some really good tracks off of those albums, but the Automatic for the People was kind of it for me. REO Speedwagon, that needs its own category. Rush, yeah, Rush is kind of like the proto incel band. Black Sabbath, okay, this is one of my favorite bands ever, but this is the truth, and I think a lot of y'all, even the people that love Sabbath the most, will probably agree with me there. All right, Saint Motel, I've heard their stuff, but never really delved super deep into it. Didn't really elicit any sort of extreme positive or negative feeling from me. No real opinion, but I'll give him another fair shake. Who is this? Santana? Yeah, no, Santana's one of the best guitarists ever. Santana is super based, but I don't know if there's been a Santana song that I didn't really vibe with, though. I'm sure he doesn't have a good album, but for me, Santana's based. Just, yeah, as a person, Carlos Santana's based 100%. The Scorpions. Yeah, that's Do You Have an ATM? Sex Pistols. This is another one of those bands that sort of started off criticizing the system that it inevitably became. I don't think that's their fault because most of them are dead, but yeah, hey man, you want to borrow my Sex Pistols shirt? Oh no, it's cool. I just picked one up from Kohl's. Lynyrd Skynyrd. What's your name, little girl? Lynyrd Skynyrd is it's not cop music, but it's somewhere within it's somewhere in the middle of the Venn diagram between like cop music and like dudes that believe literally every conspiracy theory. The Slayer. All right, yeah, some stinkers. I don't even know if they went on too long because I've heard Slayer is still a really, really tight band when they play live nowadays. So. Slipknot. I don't know, it's like Slipknot is for NPCs that want to be metalheads. If these are for people on the New Vegas Strip, this is for Raiders. Smashing Pumpkins. Today is the greatest. Gish is great. Siamese Dream is great. Melancholy is great. Everything after that, I could take it or leave it. All right, Smash Mouth. That goes up here. We meme on Smash Mouth. I don't really think anyone explicitly likes them or dislikes them, me included. The Smiths. Oh, if a sad British man doesn't like immigrants. I don't like the Smiths. I don't like Morrissey. I never really liked the music. Johnny Marr's a good guitarist though. Sonic Youth. Oh man, Sonic Youth is based, but there's some assy Sonic Youth records. There's some really assy Sonic Youth records. Soundgarden. I don't want to say that they went on too long. Not everything that they did was great, but I love Soundgarden. Soundgarden's one of my favorite bands. Bad Motorfinger, Super Unknown. I love Chris Cornell. Not everything's great though, but still a great band, and their good stuff is definitely worth checking out. Who's this? Steve Miller Band. Fly like an eagle. Republicans ruined it. I've heard the Joker at every tailgate I've been to in my entire life. Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, I want to put this in the top category so bad, but I mean, just Scott Weiland's whole story is just so tragic. I mean, Shangri-La-Di-Da just isn't really that great to me. I love everything, even up to like number 4. Number 4 is cool in my book. I like number 4, but yeah, Stone Temple Pilots went on too long, and I know they kept trying to switch the singer around, but it just wasn't the same. And now Scott Weiland's gone, so I really, if it was just me, I would say very top, but yeah. Rolling Stones.
Please allow me to introduce my...
It doesn't. Rolling Stones go right here. I mean, Beggar's Banquet and Let It Bleed are 2 really good records. The Strokes. Yeah, it's going right there. I'm sorry. Is This It? Is the high watermark, and that's the first record. Room on Fire and First Impressions of Earth have some good cuts on them. All right, Styx. Styx was a good band, had some good records, but went on too long, lost their best members. Yeah. Swans. Oh man, Seer, To Be Kind are great. We got now Sweet. I'm not familiar with this band, and like I feel like I should be. I feel like I'm dumb for not have heard listening. I feel like I'm dumb for not having known about Sweet up until this point. I'll have to check them out. System of a Down, based. Yeah. Never did anything they didn't want to do. If they had something to say, they'd say it. Based. System of a Down. Their own style, their own sort of deal. Yeah, System of a Down is based. I don't really think you can say anything bad about System of a Down. T-Rex. Dude, I love this band. This is just a cool band right here. But yeah, not everything is not everything's amazing, and it just really kind of sucks that, you know, just what happened. I would put them in the top category, but there's just yeah. Talking Heads are based, but it's going this route. It's headed to this category, and it's gonna happen pretty soon. So go ahead and jump on while you can. Tame Impala. Bow bow. Reverb. Bow bow. Plugins. Bow now. Tenacious D. You can't even say that Tenacious D has bad songs. Their songs all serve some sort of larger comedic narrative, and I think that the you know, the finished product that they're a part of is always pretty funny, pretty entertaining. Them Crooked Vultures. Yeah, that's Dave Grohl, Josh Homme, John Paul Jones. I will say that, like, their songs aren't really, like, monumental in any sort of way, but all three of those guys are good in my book. They've all made really solid music. If this is just an outlet for them, yeah, that's fine. Tool. I think that people like to cling to the fact that they use all these odd time signatures and these excruciatingly long song lengths, you know, as sort of an excuse to be like, this band, like, you just wouldn't get this band, and I get this band the way, like, no one else does. But that's lame. That's so lame. 21 Pilots. This is too harsh for 21 Pilots. You know, I haven't spent a whole lot of time just being like, God, 21 Pilots suck so hard. I don't know. Toto. Take a lot to take me away from you. Train. Yeah, forgot. That Train is NPC music, but I forgot about them, and I'm glad I did. I gotta start working on that again. Twisted Sister. I don't know. I'm guessing that's like a hair metal band or something. No opinion. U2. Yeah. Hello. U2 goes right here for Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree is good, but U2 goes in this category right here. Use. Yeah. Origin of Symmetry, or maybe Absolution. I haven't felt that anything has really truly elevated them above their contemporaries, other than Matt Bellamy just being like an absolute shredder guitarist. All the rock stuff that Muse has done of late feels like a rehash in the worst possible way. And most of their like poppy stadium electronic stuff is just sort of lame to me. Come out! Vampire Weekend. You know, this is a polarizing band. I think this is sort of like the indie band, and people either love it or hate it for that reason. I like them. Definitely got some stinkers. Vampire Weekend has definitely got some stinkers on those records, but some really great songs that I feel eclipse that at the same time. Van Morrison. I'll be nice. Van Halen. Panama. I like Eddie. Van Halen to me just kind of seems like the music equivalent of a Corvette Stingray that's been sitting under the cover in a divorced dad's garage for like 8 years. And you know, you go over to that kid's house one day and you're like, that's a cool car. Did your dad ever drive it? And he's like, nah, it just kind of sits here and he works on it sometimes. That's what Van Halen sounds like to me. I mean, like, Van Halen sort of fits among like the Coca-Colas and, you know, like Delta of the world at this point. Ain't talking about love. Velvet Underground. Ooh,
Walking on down the street again. Cause I'm Lou Reed, my friend.
I don't know if Velvet Under, I mean, like, this album is like sort of a brand, right? But I mean, you don't really see like the White Light, White Heat or the Loaded album covers. You know, I'm just gonna say Velvet Underground's based. Yeah, Velvet Underground is based. The Verve. Did they do Bittersweet Symphony? Ween. You know, Ween is based, and they got some weird stuff, but like that's kind of their deal. So, yeah, Ween hits. Weezer.
If you want to destroy my sweater.
Yeah, this is going right here for the Blue Album. Blue Album is fantastic, but everything else just kind of meh. The White Stripes. I love this band, but this is really kind of the epitome of bass but went on too long for me. And I know for a lot of people they ended sooner than they wanted. But self-titled, The Style, and White Blood Cells and Elephant, great albums. The Who. I don't know. I would just say bass but went on too long. After Keith Moon was done, like that, it just wasn't the same. And I mean, I've heard a couple songs from post Quadrophenia, post Tommy era of The Who that I like. Let's see here. Wilco. I love this band, but I will be the first to tell you that not everything they do is amazing. If you're a band like this, or you know, like some of these other bands where you've been around so long and your output is so consistent in terms of scheduling, it's inevitable that not every song is going to measure up to one, or you know, an album or a particular song in the past that was just absolutely incredible. Yes is very based, but at the same time kind of, yeah. Frank Zappa. You know, I don't really have an opinion on him. I just don't really know where to start. 13th Floor Elevators, never heard of them. Moving on. Cake, forgot about them. You'll never there. Hang of Four, don't know them. Royal Blood, nothing really truly exceptional, but you can't really not like them. The Stranglers, I don't know. Yardbirds, yeah, I don't know enough about the Yardbirds, like full discography, to really make a big judgment call here. Fugazi.
You wanted everything. You needed everything.
Ian MacKaye is his own worst enemy. Fugazi's great, but yeah. Interpol. I only really know Interpol from Rock Band. I'm not really familiar enough with their music to make a call here, so. The Modern Lovers. Don't know them. The Murlocs. Okay, I'll have to check them out. My Bloody Valentine. Yeah. My Bloody Valentine is good, but okay, New Order. Yeah, I like New Order. New Order's a good band, but definitely doesn't hit 10 out of 10 every time. Television. I feel like I've heard them, but I don't know enough about them. No opinion. No opinion on Television. 10 Years After. No real opinion on that either. Breaking Benjamin. Bow now now now, bow now now now. Halo 2. Bow now now, bow now now now. I don't know. Breaking Benjamin is cop music, but at the same time, I don't really feel a certain way about him like I do every single other one of these bands. And it's not really NPC music. You won't really see someone walking down the street that's like a Breaking Benjamin diehard fan. The Brian Jonestown Massacre. Deaf Heaven. No real opinion. I need to check them out. Death from Above, 1979. Wow. Deftones. It's either this or this, because I love Deftones. Around the Fur, White Pony. Awesome. Eels. I don't know. Never really enough to check them out. Glass Animals. This is like elevator music for people smoking weed for the first time. Hoken. No real opinion. Don't really know him. Jinx. Yomi Soda. Ha! Low Cut Connie. I don't know any of these fucking people. MGMT. MGMT, I'll just say that the self-titled isn't fantastic, but they've been consistent enough outside of that to where I can kind of overlook that. I feel like MGMT is definitely one of the more consistent bands of the indie pitchfork dick riding era, but I don't know. Yeah, Congratulations is a great album. Even the one with Kids, Time to Pretend, that's a fun record. I mean, it's like satire, but it ended up being huge. Little Dark Age too, slept on. Prophets of Rage, like I've heard them, but I don't really know them No opinion. Traveling Wilburys. Yeah, I feel like most Traveling Wilburys songs you know another band's version of. Bad Company. A Bad Company is Do You Have an ATM? The Birds. I don't know if I've really heard anything that made me feel a specific way negatively about them, but I like the Birds. Cheap Trick. Surrender. Surrender. Hatebreed. Jethro Tull. Bow now 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 now. I just don't know enough about them to really say for sure. Mastodon. I know they're from Atlanta, but I haven't really listened to them. Yeah. Mastodon goes in no real opinion for the time being. Primus. Some of their stuff can be pretty assy. Sepultura. Not really familiar with them. Shame. Same thing. Steely Dan. Steely Dan goes at the top of this list. Steely Dan, eat your fave. Steely Dan is better than every band that's ever existed. It's better than the Beatles. Deal with it. Steely Dan are those dudes. Steely Dan delivers every single time. And I'm not even gonna say they went on too long, because there's some stuff off of Gaucho and Two Against Nature that I seriously vibe with. And yeah, Steely Dan's based. Steely Dan is based. Franz Ferdinand. The Kooks. Yeah, nothing really stood out to me from them. Sorry. Temple of the Dog. You know what? Temple of the Dog is one of those really cool side projects with Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder, and I forget who else was in it. And I don't want to say that I don't know if they went on too long, and I don't even know if, because I haven't really heard a Temple of the Dog song where I was like, turn this shit off. Who is this? Viagra Boys. What is this doing here? Yeah, Viagra Boys, Do You Have an ATM? Dirty Honey? Or is that Dirty Money? Oh no, no opinion. Eagles of Death Metal. Haven't really heard anything that I had a bad reaction to. They haven't really been around that long. I don't really think they've done too much. Sleep. Sleep is one of my, I'm one of the doom metal bands I'm more fond of. But I just don't really know enough about them. I like what I heard. Some of the stuff I'm not crazy about, but I like most of it. Stone Roses. I don't really know that much about them. No opinion. Suede, TM, what does that say? Supertramp. I need to listen to them more. Death Grips, yeah. Why is this on a rock list? Death Grip. I guess it's not the craziest thing I've seen on here so far. Idols. I don't know, because they've done some stuff that I liked. Yeah. I'll give them another listen and see if I change my mind. Supergrass. Ubergrass. I don't know. It's cut off. The Garden. I haven't really listened to that much either. Wings. It's the coolest guy in the Beatles and better musicians. But it went on too long. Yeah, Wings. All American Rejects. I'll keep you my dirty little secret. Forgot about them. They were in a Bionicle commercial. That's what I remember All American Rejects from. They were in a Bionicle commercial. What an era. Bring Me the Horizon. Captain Beefheart. You know who you are. Fontaine CC. Never really listened to that much, but I'll give them a listen. Pale Waves. I never listened to them. Sum 41. Yes. I like yes. I don't think they've even done that much either. I think they kind of did like 2 albums and dipped or something. I don't even remember. Need to check up on them. The Dead Kennedys. I don't really think people are talking about Dead Kennedys anymore. Yeah. The Hollies. Don't know them. Placebo. Don't know them, but yeah. Poison. Just they got every rose has its thorn. Skillet. I didn't realize my Scoutmaster's son was taking me hunting today. Daft Punk. Yeah, this is going right here for discovery. Maybe homework. Hoobastank. Hoobastank and Skillet. Those are two like assistant baseball coach's son bands right there. Hootie and the Blowfish. Okay. Nothing against Darius Rucker. Whenever Hootie and the Blowfish came up, it's always in the same breath as someone like talking shit about like Lil Wayne or being like rap music sucks. And you know, you would hear their reasons. You'd be like, this kind of racist, man. They'd be like, no. Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie and the Blowfish. Darius Rucker. Who is this? Black Midi? Got Black Midi on this list? Okay, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Block Party. Some stinkers or went on too long. I don't want to say went on too long because they still play and they're good. The Hives. Totally forgot about them. Jet.
1, 2, 3, take your hand to come and make us look so fun, and I really wanna make you mad.
Yes. I don't know who they are. Sports team? Are they just fucking out of band names now? Squid. Don't know him either. Surf Curse. Don't know him. The Voids. This is Julian Casablancas' little side project. Yeah, nothing truly blows me away. It's cool though. And one of the Heim sisters played in it, I think. I forget. AFI. Yeah, I just forgot about AFI. The Cranberries, they did kind of go on too long. Devo. Yeah, Devo was super cool, but they went on too long. The Tigray. Never listened to them. Spoon? Yeah, it's Spoon. I like Spoon. The Darkness. It's a dumbass name. The Jam. It's the same logo as the Who, though. Maybe I'm missing out on something. The National. Okay. They still put out some good music. Turnstile. Yeah, I've liked pretty much everything I've heard from Turnstile, but they're not a immaculate band by any means, but still definitely one of the stronger bands out there currently. XTC. I don't really have an opinion. I don't really. Yo La Tengo. That's one of those bands that it's like you should know about them, but I don't. So I'll give them a listen. No real opinion. Last but not least, we got ZZ Top. I'm bound down like a sharp dressed man. Bass. ZZ Top's the greatest band of all time. Alright, that's it. That's the list. That's all I really got for you. Thanks for watching.